Hello. Today topic is complex analysis. In complex analysis, now we have to see numbers and variables. First, we will see the complex analysis importance. That is, complex analysis has not only transformed the world of mathematics, its application in many areas of physics and engineering. For example, we can use complex numbers to describe the behavior of the electromagnetic field. Also, in atomic system, which are described by quantum mechanics, complex numbers and complex functions play a central role. So why we have to introduce the complex number in this mathematics? That is, in the real number systems, we cannot solve the equation x square plus 1 equal to 0, because the equation in this equation x square equal to minus 1. So x equal to root of minus 1. There is no value of root of minus 1 in the real numbers. So in this purpose, the complex number systems are introduced. So here the value of I square is defined by minus 1. The algebra of complex numbers. More general complex numbers can be written down. In fact, using a real numbers a and b, we can form a complex number c equal to a plus ib. Here a is a real part and b is a imaginary part. So the number including I is called the imaginary part of c. Ordinary addition, subtraction, multiplication can be done in complex numbers also. So the usual addition and subtraction is done, but in the addition and subtraction, the real parts are added separately and the imaginary parts are added separately. But in the multiplication is a common multiplication in the real number and put I square equal to minus 1. Also, some special case in complex number system, complex conjugate. That is, let us consider the number c equal to a plus ib. The complex conjugate is a minus ib. Also, we have to take the conjugate of a complex number is again the original. It is repeated in the original complex number, that is a plus ib. As usual, the multiplication of the complex number and the complex conjugate is nothing but a square plus b square. So it is notated by modulus c square, that is modulus c square equal to c bar. So the division is also done in the complex numbers. C by k, c is a complex number and k is again a complex number. For this division, the conjugate of the denominator is multiple and divide. We have to multiple and divide the conjugate of the denominator, and as usual multiplication can be done and put I square equal to minus 1 and separate it into real part and the imaginary part. So this is the graphical representation of complex number. That is the complex number showing z equal to x plus iy in the first quadrant and its complex conjugate is in the fourth quadrant, that is x minus iy. Here x is a positive and y is negative, but in the first quadrant x is positive and y is also a positive. Here r denote the modulus of the complex number, theta represent the argument of the complex number. So now we extend the complex number into a complex variable. It's also represented by z equal to x plus iy. Here z is a complex variable. So the graph of your complex numbers in the xy plane, which we sometimes call the complex plane or the z plane. Also the angle theta, we track of the angle theta, that is vector mix with the real axis. So these two are the very important complex transformations, that is cos theta equal to e power I theta plus e power minus I theta divided by 2, sin theta equal to e power I theta plus e power minus I theta divided by 2i. So it appears that complex numbers are not so imaginary after all. That is, the modulus of the complex variable z is given by modulus z square equal to x square plus y square. That is, modulus z is nothing but root of x square plus y square. Also, we represent the complex variable in a polar coordinates by using x equal to r cos theta and y equal to r sin theta. The polar representation of the modulus r is nothing but root of x square plus y square. That is, z is nothing but x plus iy. So substitute x equal to r cos theta, y equal to r sin theta. We get the polar form of a complex variable, that is z equal to r into cos theta plus I sin theta. Here r is the modulus is always greater than 0 and the tan theta is nothing but y by x. that is theta equal to tan inverse of y by x, which is called the argument of z, or in short form argz. Again, the value of theta of a given complex number is called a argument of z or argz. The principal value of argz, which is denoted by capital Arg of z, is the value minus pi less than theta less than or equal to pi. The following relationships are hold. Arg of z equal to caps Arg of z plus 2n pi, n equal to 0, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, etc. The principal value can be specified to be between 0 and 2 pi. So here there is an important formula for it is called Euler's formula, that is cos theta plus I sin theta in terms of a complex exponential. So this is easy to use using a Taylor series expansion. So first let's write out a few terms in the well-known Taylor's expansions of the trigonometric functions cos and sin. That is cos theta equal to 1 minus theta square by 2 factorial plus theta power 4 by 4 factorial minus theta power 6 by 6 factorial plus etc. And sin theta equal to theta minus theta cube by 3 factorial plus theta power 5 factorial minus etc. So now let us consider the exponential form, the power series expansion of the e power I theta. That is e power I theta is equal to 1 plus I theta, that is we know that e power x is nothing but 1 plus x by 1 factorial x square by 2 factorial plus x cube by 3 factorial plus etc. So instead of x we have to substitute I theta. We have this form e power I theta equal to this one, and just expand it, whole square, whole cube, expand it and collect the real part and the imaginary parts. It is nothing but cos theta plus I sin theta. So that e power I theta is nothing but cos theta plus I sin theta. This is the Euler's formula. So we conclude that e power I theta is nothing but cos theta plus I sin theta, and e power minus I theta is nothing but cos theta minus I sin theta. Just you have to add and subtract these two. We get cos theta equal to e power I theta plus e power minus I theta by 2, sin theta equal to e power I theta minus e power minus I theta divided by 2i. So these relationships allow us to write a complex number in complex exponential form, or more commonly polar form. This is given by z equal to r into e power I theta. The polar form can be very useful for calculation, since exponentials are so simple to work with. So for example, the product of two complex numbers z equal to r into e power I theta and w equal to rho into e power I phi is given by zw equal to like this, r rho into e power I into theta plus phi. Notice that moduli multiply and arguments add. Division is also very simple, that is z by w is nothing but r by rho into e power I into theta minus pi. So raising a complex number to a power is also easy. That is z power n is nothing but r into e power I theta whole power n, that is equal to r power n into e power I n theta. The conjugate is also done, that is z bar equal to r into e power minus I theta. The complex conjugate is written as z bar equal to r into e power I theta. Euler's formula can be used to derive some interesting expressions. For example, we can easily derive one of the most mysterious equations in all of mathematics. E power I pi equal to cos pi plus I sin pi, that is e power I pi plus 1 equal to 0. So this is another theorem, de Moivre's theorem. Let z equal to r1 into cos theta 1 plus I sin theta 1, and z equal to z2 equal to r2 into cos theta 2 plus I sin theta 2. Using trigonometric identities and some algebra, we can show that z1 into z2 equal to this format, and z1 and divided by z2 is like this. Thank you.